That is a frightful blank look, Sarah. I feel this is a deer in headlight moment.
I have a topic. It's just not a very good one. It was a day, okay? Just leave me alone.
Great, now I sound like an asshole.
Yeah?
I mean, we're like, I don't know how
Do
many episodes in. Like,
do
if
we
they don't
need to
know
do
who we
another
are.
Duke to Do's? Like, welcome to Isn't It Obvious? I'm your host, Sera. Joining me is Micah and Phil. Isn't it obvious that pet cats, should be kept indoors?
Disagree.
Full agree.
Full agree. Why on earth would you allow your cat to roam outside? I mean, I should caveat this. In, like, the suburbs or cities where it's more populated, absolutely
What? Then you
should
can
be
have
kept
a
indoors.
neighborhood cat. What's wrong with the neighborhood cat?
The neighborhood cat pisses and shits in other people's yards.
That's why I don't have a litter box at home. It is a better, more natural way.
And also kills wildlife.
Like, fuck those birds.
Like birds and... I mean, the mice can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, You take the good with the bad. We don't have a mice problem anymore, and we don't have any more robins. I don't see the issue.
Both of those are false. And also, rats, like, and mice, they're not really... Cats don't really do a good job against exterminating or killing, rats and mice as much as, like...
Birds.
Birds, they kill like a billion birds a
year.
year.
They're really good.
That's what terriers are for. Terriers get you rats.
Yeah, terriers are...
Yeah.
I think terriers are definitely the go-to
dogs.
animal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why people get... If they have a rat problem, don't get a cat,
Like
get a
dogs,
terrier.
yeah, I mean, like dogs, certain dogs bred for killing mice and rats and rodents and stuff, like, they do it because they hate them. They're not doing it because they want to eat it or play with it.
Game.
No,
Yeah.
it's they want to murder that thing and like shake it around. It's like it is kind of a game for them, but they also like really want to kill it. Whereas cats, they just, unless they're really hungry and they're strays,
I brought you a thing.
yeah, it's more just to look at how great of a hunter I am, praise me.
But they're not going to seek out and destroy, like, at a maximum level.
Yeah,
like,
dogs
It
will...
depends if you don't feed them.
Yeah, but once they eat... Yeah, I feel like a dog could kill, like, 100 rats, and a cat might just kill a few and they get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the problem is, if you have a cat that's outside, there's, like, a neighborhood cat that lives in our neighborhood, and we always like to, like, say hello to it, and it's adorable.
Sure it's adorable, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I do feel kind of sad that they're, like, I'm advocating for no neighborhood cats, but at the same time, they're really a terrible ecosystem sort of, like, curveball.
But that's the American way.
This
Nothing
is-
we've done has been good for this country at all since the beginning. So let's continue that by having neighborhood cats.
I mean...
Yeah, no. Like, you wouldn't do this with a dog.
I think we should have dogs running wild too.
That's a terrible idea.
Just no leash laws. People can do whatever they want.
I mean, I love dogs, but, like, you gotta just control your animals. Like, because...
No, we do what Bob Marker said. They are spayed or neutered. They just don't have restrictions. As long as they're fixed, they can be wild.
Yeah, until they go attacking other people's dogs or cats and
that's the
killing
natural
them
order.
and killing them, and then someone's without.
You
a
should have
pet.
picked a more fortified dog to survive in this world.
Okay, I see how.
What did you pick? A French bulldog? Oh, that was your mistake.
Yeah, German Shepherd. One of the problems I have with dogs, though, is that you type in Google about the statistics of how many, like, humans were attacked by dogs, and it's very high. Mm-hmm. And you do that same for cats, and it's 0. Like, there's no...
Nobody reports a cat
yeah,
attack.
no one reports a
Yeah,
cat.
but
I mean, cats definitely stalk and will attack you, but the damage they can do is not as much as a dog. Like, you can go to the hospital if you get bit by a cat because of, like, bacteria in their teeth or something if they break skin, but a dog can maul you.
Also, the difference is that I don't think a cat, like, in my experience, a cat will bite you if you fuck with the cat. Like, if like the cat is just on the other side of the street, it's not gonna just run after you and chase you. Whereas a dog, like, that could happen. Like, dogs are super territorial.
You need to exert your dominance.
Cats can be territorial too, but I think they're definitely territorial in a different way. Dogs, I think, see themselves and people as on a territorial playing field, where cats just see other cats on a territorial playing field. They don't really care about other animals so much or other people because they aren't, I guess, direct competitors. Dogs, though, I think see other dogs and other people as direct competitors.
I mean, that explains why there are certain dogs that are just bred for guarding.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the early 20th century, I think PBS had like this special about a human relationship to dogs had changed. So like in the early, in the 1901 time, dogs were just seen as tools, like doorbells. Like they're not really seen as a companion. They're just seen as like, we just need to have a dog for either security or for the farm, but they're not really like a companion. They're certainly not like a family member. Whereas like as you move closer to like modern times, we obviously love our dogs. But that means that prior to like wolves turning into chihuahuas, like there's a lot of breeding that was going on that kind of had the same, like this idea reinforced that like we need to have this dog that's going to just do its job, which is to guard territory or to attack humans. And then for or in the case of World War I, have these adorable little Yorkies that kill all the rats in the trenches, right?
Very well.
And
because they were good boys.
They were good boys.
But the problem is that humans
or girls.
Or like, I guess maybe in like, I don't know if it's just Americans, but we're just really bad at raising animals. Like the average person is so dumb.
Yeah,
and so like imagine
they should not have an animal. They should not.
And so like
kids,
or a child.
Test.
Or a child, yeah.
Or the thing is, like, if I see someone strike a dog, I would report them, right? Like, if it's in the neighborhood and someone has a branch and they're hitting a dog, I would be like, I'm going to call this asshole out because what the fuck is going on?
What if you see someone just give a whack on the nose?
Depends.
And that's okay. Like, a newspaper, like, bop.
Is it okay to strike your child with the same amount of force?
Yeah, children are completely messed up. Like, if I see someone hit their kid, right, it's kind of like, oh man, what, like there's a
Depends
weird...
where and how hard.
Right, there's like a flow chart that comes in and it feels really like, I don't really...
The face in 7 out of 10?
No face. Face is never a good spot to hit a person.
And,
it leaves marks, that's a good point.
Well, no, it's just very insulting and demeaning and...
The newspaper.
You can flap the back of their head though.
Okay, so a thwap to the back of the head is fine. As
But
like
not
what, a
the
3 out of
face.
10?
Yeah, something like
3
that.
out of 10.
Depends on how hard, but we'll just
3
say
out of-
very little force.
So like a 7 out of 10 to the back of the head is bad. I'm just trying to figure out parameters here.
But it's from
How
negative.
hard can I strike my child before you're offended?
From a negative 10 to 10 scale. Like, where are we going?
If that kid after you've whapped the back of their head is on their knees on the ground, that's too hard.
What? He's an actor.
This is called the ground test. And
3 months old and just falls down on every little...
the National
You
Highway...
should never be hit.
No, there is this... we had an early childhood
No matter
family
how much you want to shake them.
education class, and they talked about, like...
That's my restraint, though.
If you do corporal punishment for a kid, and you see your, other family members that are like maybe your aunt or uncle or whatever, then they have a kid or something and they're doing that, it's more likely you don't report them because child rearing is the responsibility of that family. Mm-hmm. Unless it's something like a lead pipe, obviously you would probably get involved.
But I was in the parlor with Mr. White.
But so like, but the idea though is that people feel very reluctant to engage when it comes to hitting a kid, but not for dogs and definitely not for cats. Like if you see someone hit a dog or kick a dog, people would report that because it's like, hey, not cool.
That dog is fully dependent on you just like a child.
But it's weird because for kids it's like, oh well, that's just how they do it in Korea, haha. It's like,
not,
well, what?
Oh God.
It's just like, wait, this isn't. Hey, but that dog, man, that's not cool. Like we have standards here I don't really know how to answer this other than I feel like dogs need to be trained better, and that's why
mandatory obedience training.
But for cats, you can't train cats.
Oh, you can. They just are much harder to train, and they only will do it if there's something in it for them.
That's very reasonable, but it's also really hard to train.
And even if they're trained, they will still do whatever they want, and you literally have to incentivize them every time. It's not because they want to do what you want to do, like a dog does. A dog was like, oh, you want me to do this thing, clearly, and I want you to be happy because I'm a dog and you're my human. Mm-hmm. A cat is like,
I'll eat you if you die.
yeah, and what's in it for me? Dogs will, yeah, they will.
Yeah, dogs too.
Yeah.
But dogs would feel bad about it.
No, why are you anthropomorphizing dogs more than you're anthropomorphizing cats?
Because cats cannot be, just no. Cats are just...
So you're saying there's never been a situation in which an owner has died and the cat, like, curled up next to the corpse and, like, had a very sad, like, final sleep?
Never. It has not happened once in the history of cats and humans.
It's just you croak, you're still warm, and then all of a sudden the cat's like, fucking about time, munch.
I think it would take a while.
I'm fucking waiting for this.
The thing is, if you raise a cat right...
Yeah, I still hate that fucking laser pointer.
If you raise the cat correctly... You would expect it to eat you when you die. Like, that's just kind of, that's their goal. That's their goal when raising a cat.
To be consumed by your cat?
Well,
better than...
Alright, either I see you to your grave or you eat my rotting corpse.
That's just over.
That's a weird game of chicken with an animal.
No, better than paying for burial.
It's
just saying.
I have more respect for my cat if my cat ate me when I'm dead. I'm just saying that's just my relationship
that's
with the
she's
cat.
a survivor.
That's right. It's
no,
like,
but
good
what does
for
that
you,
respect
man.
matter if you're dead? The cat's never gonna gain that respect, and now you're giving that respect to the cat, not knowing whether it's gonna eat your body or not.
That's true.
Well, the family members can have that respect for your... Anyway,
so now now you have to make your whole family, you have to look at your wife, look at the kids, and be like, alright, when I die, you give our cat 3 to 6 weeks to see if it starts eating me, okay?
That's not how it works. First of all, if I die...
Which may not happen.
May not happen. No.
Wait, you found the elixir for mortality?
I mean, depends on what definition of death means, but your dead body does not belong to you when you're dead.
I disagree, but we can have that discussion another time.
Well, that's the thing.
Because you're wrong.
Because you're wrong. You
guys are wrong, but okay.
I had this conversation, it's like, hey, to the older generation, like, how would you want to, what would you want to do
have a discussion about
with your remains? And they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's like, because it's the generation that has to bury us that gets to decide. Like, we have our preference and blah, 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 but...
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair.
That's
so
fair
mine is going to be like, if I die and the cat takes a bite of me, don't be mad at the cat. I'm actually pretty impressed, and that's okay. If a dog takes a bite of me, then yeah, definitely be mad at that dog. What the fuck, man? Like,
yeah, because the dog has now the taste for man flesh.
You gotta stop that right away before it gets smart. But dogs being out in the open, I feel like if they're well trained, is not as a big of a deal. But even though they have so much power to like really hurt people,
dogs that are out in the open, unleashed, is fine in my opinion, as long as they are well trained to stay in their...
What's this double standard then?
In their property. Cats don't stay. They will not.
How do you know cats don't stay?
Because I fucking know they don't
stay. Dude,
stay.
Cats just don't stay.
They don't have they don't care about boundaries unless...
How are you you are clearly raising your cats wrong.
There's no reason.
My cats have respected boundaries everywhere.
Micah doesn't have cats.
Micah's cats
don't exist.
That's why they're fucking perfect.
And that's why they're perfect.
Nope.
They're outdoors, they stay within the block, everybody knows them, nobody else feeds them.
As they shouldn't.
Because who else is going to take care of the goddamn rat problem?
Terriers.
That's right. Terrier and Royce, my 2 cats.
Those are the middle names of my cats.
Cats
Stay away from those names.
Cats should not be out in the open, and I do feel like people who kill cats that are feral, like I feel bad for those cats, but feral cats are not house cats.
They are not. No.
They're just I know that they
they pee all over everything, and they have no respect for.
They're
different. They're just different.
I mean, the thing that's odd is that if you take a feral cat's kitten, then they could be a house cat. Like that's a weird thing about it, but like
with humans, the first 2 months are the most important.
Is that true with humans?
No. Who knows?
I have no idea.
Phil.
You should know.
Look,
Phil.
Neither Micah nor I have children.
Phil.
He has 2.
This is summer.
Who
2021.
Who said that statement, Phil? Did it come from Sera? No, it came from me.
The liar.
Why are you giving any credibility to anything I say?
Ever.
It sounds like so plausible, but then it's like, but is that true?
Micah should run as a Republican.
You should run as a Republican. I will vote for you, Micah.
I would not.
See, the problem is, if ever anyone was like, so how do you feel with the Republican platform? Well, all right, hold on. I really...
He gets his Western accent on.
I can't help it, y'all.
It's mustard, actually.
It's mustard.
Sorry, Midwest, Southern, Western.
Yeah,
Mustard.
Yeah.
I love it.
It doesn't matter. I could be from Biloxi, Mississippi, or Bismarck, North Dakota. You don't know.
Or Iowa.
Or St. Cloud.
Dare you. Do not insult me by saying I'm from Iowa. Now, voters of Iowa, when I am there next March, I will require your vote. But after that, Y'all are some prima donnas, okay?
That's also true, though, right? Just saying.
Micah, the congressional candidate, everyone. Clap, 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 clap.
Congressional?
Whatever.
Fucking White House or bust.
Whatever. Presidential candidate.
You don't really want to... Okay, so as a...
No, start at the top, then work my way down.
Yeah.
You know, start at president, and then you get to be a senate, and then you're a representative, and then boom, straight to Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Until I retire, because a certain fiduciary memo will resurface many years after my 10 years began.
It's called this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit, y'all found that? Wait, with my actual voice? Fuck.
That's just Micah's evil twin.
Yes, that's
who we
Mike.
murdered.
He does spell his name M-I-C, and it's been an issue within the family for years. That's why we don't talk about him.
So all I'm saying is, cats should definitely be kept indoors, and I have very little respect for
Next,
people.
you're gonna say pet birds should stay indoors. Like, what kind of lunacy is this?
And children should stay indoors.
They should.
How else
God.
are they gonna learn what to fear in this world if they do not get exposed to it?
And how
Clearly, Disney doesn't teach the true lessons.
I mean, children that murder birds should probably be kept somewhere.
It depends. How are they murdering them? Is it quick? Is it simple? Are they using it for taxidermy purposes?
Okay, if they're murdering birds for grouse or whatever for food? That's one thing with their dad or their mom. And they're hunting.
No, I let my kid. I mean, my 6-year-old is pretty good at it. She's really found the twist method, and she's found which parts you can actually eat raw with limited dietary issues.
So
the answer is 0%.
You keep sociopaths indoors, is what I'm saying, and cats are clearly sociopaths. They're adorable.
Every child's a sociopath until they learn. How else do they learn?
Yeah, but cats
almost getting hit by a Ford Taurus when they're 4.
Yeah, but cats don't. They don't grow out of that stage where children.
Yes, they do.
Sometimes
you give them enough Ford Tauruses, cats will learn.
No, they'll die.
Or they'll learn.
Probably not.
Well, then you get a new cat.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not how that works. We'll just get a new child. Just let him play in the streets. It's fine.
Well, yeah, that's why I have backup kids.
Oh, Jesus.
I have 2 in the state. I have a couple in Florida, a couple in Mexico. Gotta keep them around, you know. Really, I did not expect my cover for a long-haul driver to work so well, but oh my god, people are stupid.
People are stupid.
I mean, the worst part, they know about this podcast.
I mean, the 3
who
people
the hell
who
listens to that?
No one's listening. No one's certainly listening to this podcast. It's certainly not.
They shouldn't be. I don't know what you're doing here.
We're sorry.
Listener.
Sorry, Mom. But also, hitting people is not a good idea, especially children. Especially cats, dogs, birds. I don't recommend
anything
it.
that's dependent on you should not be struck.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are some kids that could.
But some kids
really learn
and some dogs, some kids and some dogs could use a whap to the back of their head at times, for being little shits, because they certainly can be.
Violence has its point in rearing and education.
I am a full proponent of throwing a child into a lake, assuming they know how to swim. If they're being a little shit.
No, the better part is if they don't know how to swim, then they'll learn.
I mean, you stick a life jacket on them and then you throw them in a lake. But
well, no, that's why you have the lifesaver.
No, because they can't grab onto it. They're too small.
But that's why you have the really small lifesaver.
The little mint ones.
The ones that look like Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's different sizes for each
Jimmy.
child.
All I'm saying is I was definitely thrown in a lake as a child for being a little shit.
The truth comes out.
So I was so mad.
Year.
I have revenge. I have plans for revenge that I'm just sitting on, just waiting. They involve poison ivy, but...
Would you ever throw a cat into a lake?
No.
Just because they're being a total...
unless it was, attacking me, while I was on a dock, then no.
Oh.
No, but I wouldn't, take the cat and, from my house and then throw it into the lake for being a little shit.
What?
The worst I would do...
That inevitability that they realize where they're going? It's priceless.
The worst I would... because cats, they don't really do a whole lot of damage, except maybe they might throw up or shit somewhere that you didn't want them to. But for the most part, if they're being a little shit, you just squirt them with a water bottle or shut them in a room for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, so forced imprisonment is fine?
Yeah, it's like grounding your child.
You monster.
I'm a monster.
I have no
Turns
idea.
out, though, I don't actually shut my cats into a room. I don't do that unless I have,
Your pair of people.
contractors coming over and they have to, go in and out from the front door or whatever. And I don't want my cats to, just zoom outside while I'm not looking.
Well, I do take my cat outside. outside the house. I have this
supervised.
Cat. Yeah, I have a cat harness, and then she just is the world's. She just tries to become a boat anchor. Like she just gets dragged.
Merlin does the same thing.
Grass, and I'm like, this is my cat. I want to eventually teach the cat to walk, and then I can walk around the neighborhood with my cat. And
some cats will tolerate a harness, some will not.
I don't know.
If you start in the first 2 months, they'll be fine with it.
Probably true.
That's probably.
And actually, you probably have to do it a little sooner than 2 months for cats. You should do it in the first month.
You're really supposed to touch their paws and teeth a lot when they're young, so then it's easier for them to get used to that. But I don't have any reasons why cats should be outside because they are terrible.
They do fine inside. They do fine inside. Dogs need to go outside for various reasons, but
I also don't like having cats inside either.
Why?
Because they always want to leave.
Yeah, so you let them go outside.
Yeah, but
and if they go out and if they come back, then it's meant to be. If not, it wasn't meant to be your cat.
No, may have tried to escape.
It's actually a good idea. Sorry.
That's how you see if the cat's truly yours.
Yeah.
You give it options, and if it finds another family, it finds another family.
So.
Or it's like a communal cat that has multiple.
Exactly,
families.
The neighborhood cat.
Yeah.
No, because no.
See, Phil's already come around to my side. He's changed his position from the beginning of this. He was
both
very
wrong.
absolute.
I said 100%, but if they would only stop killing birds, I would be okay with them being outside.
Or fighting with other cats.
What? No,
that's just part of the cat.
No,
that's just part of cat life.
Kids get into fights at schools, and you're not
but
upset
they
with
don't.
them.
But children don't kill each other. Cats will absolutely kill each other.
Many examples of kids killing each other.
Yeah, I know, but usually that doesn't happen. Not at the rate that cats literally will try to kill other cats.
Right.
They go to murder. Children.
And that's Darwinism.
No.
Also
Those are our family
Darwinism.
pets.
But you're letting them outside. Clearly, you have confidence that they're going to be the king of the roost.
No, they should not.
So if they're gonna go fight other cats, it's clear that you have to train them.
Clearly, you just need a Maine Coon.
You just need a little,
a
boxing glove thing.
Yeah, you get one of those scratching posts, and you put some fake paws, and you just whap them.
No,
chopsticks in the end.
What do you call those? The ones that look like little leopards. Bengals. Just get a Bengal. They'll fuck shit up.
Don't need a Siamese breed. I had a cat growing up that came back with a chunk of his arm missing that could go down to the bone, and he would just go and eat dog food because cat food's nothing. Goes over to the dog dish, starts eating the dog food,
and
then just looks over his shoulder.
Yeah, he's like,
suck it.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, dogs?
And the dog's just like, I'm okay with it.
That's why I feel bad for cats that are just stuck in because my cat always wants to leave the house. And I feel like it's kind of sad because it's like, no, your whole universe is 1,000 square feet, cat. So, sorry.
She seemed to be okay when I was cat sitting the other week. She didn't try to leave at all. She definitely was because I had to go out and water some of your deck plants.
Oh, that's right.
And, every other
Since
day.
the desert of Minnesota's happening.
I mean, it is a desert of Minnesota right now. It's freaking hot. Anyway, and no rain. But she didn't try to escape. Actually, there was one I was standing and taking pictures because that's what I do to cute cats.
How do you feel about that information?
I was really happy about it because I got the photos.
I sent these photos.
And I was like, oh, my cat.
But she was looking at me like I was too stupid to be alive because I was standing there taking photos, and she's like, dude, the door handle's right there. And she was pointing at it and looking at it you can get inside. It's right there. And she was tapping up there.
She's kind of an asshole.
She's like, are you dumb? And I'm like, no, I'm just thinking you're so cute. And I'm just gonna take pictures.
She has
different... you are just another dumb human.
I mean, I am. But she didn't try to leave or anything. She was actually really excited for company. So
she was pointing out your weak spots to exploit.
She was like, come in so we can play more games. Throw the cotton ball with a yarn on it.
I think under socially starved conditions, she just wants interaction. Mm-hmm. But when the family is there, we're always there. We're always making a lot of noise, and the kids like to just pick her up because she's just a cat and they're just right size, and she's just kind of resigned this life of being
she's
a human.
Her fate.
This is a small tiny human just picks up this cat and she just goes with it, and she's like a rag doll,
which is a good.
And then
cat.
they just kind of walk around with this cat in their arms, and this cat's head is bobbing. And I'm like, yeah, that's your fake cat.
But see, that's a good cat. That's a cat that has been socialized to not attack. Because, like, if they were to do that with my cats, I can guarantee you there would be scratches.
Oh, yeah. And that's what we like about your cats. It's like, listen, most cats are going to fuck you up.
My cats aren't used to kids. My cats are not used to kids. So they have no idea. Like, they don't know. They get nervous around kids. So they're like,
rightfully
run
so.
away.
Right.
They're
Small
like, shit,
humans that are...
I don't pick up my cats without, like, I mean, like, I'll pick them up, but, like, I don't pick them up to, like, hold them like a child or something. Like, I don't sit there and hold them. And so they're not used to that. Because I'm not an affectionate person. I
pick up the cat and
I feel bad for my cats. Don't touch me. No touchy. No touch.
Anyway, under normal nominal conditions, the cat wants to leave. And I feel bad because this whole universe of this cat is just within these four walls type of thing.
Yeah, but you're like projecting on her because you would feel trapped in that situation.
Because you've spent the last year.
Yes, I definitely am projecting because I do feel trapped.
Like, you don't know that she actually wants to leave. Maybe she just wants to be away from the people in the house. Maybe she's fine.
It's projecting as well. Yeah,
it's 1,000 square feet to you. It's 10,000 paws to the cat.
Something along those lines.
10,000 paws feet.
I feel like cats do pretty well indoors. Like, they don't need.
Thank you.
They really don't need the same amount of space that a dog does. Like, a dog, I feel like, needs to be outside and walking. Like, otherwise they're gonna go crazy. I don't think cats. Well, maybe cats do go crazy and I just don't notice, but I don't think they have the same needs, like physical needs, I guess. Like, cats will, I guess, get zoomies too, and they'll run across the house, but they're smaller. So, like, it's more, I don't know. Like, a dog, I don't feel like will get the same amount of, like, maybe like a pug or some small dog would get the same amount of thing, but like a big dog can't live in a 1,000, 2,000 square foot home.
Can we talk about the real domesticated pet that suffers from limited house size? The domesticated grizzly bear.
Do you have a pet grizzly that you want to tell us about? What's his name? Or her name?
Well, their name. They prefer.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's their name?
Bernie the bear.
Bernie?
Bernie.
Okay. Alright. Fucking Micah's a liar. He's a liar, lies all the time.
I got a grizzly cub in 2016, and I really hope Bernie Sanders would.
That's another thing. Wild animals should not be in homes. They just should not be.
How do we get domesticated animals?
No
Sarah?
tigers. No. Yeah, but they were small. They were small. Cats were always small. Dogs, maybe not, but there's a difference.
Cats were not always small.
The little ones were. Yeah, they were. Yes. We're not talking about lions. We're talking about, like, actual, like, other, like...
Have you seen Roar? Lions make great actors.
Lions are just different than what we've domesticated as cats. The cats that were not, like, they were feral cats were not much bigger or smaller than they are now. Like, in Egypt when they were, like, used for...
Phil, known Egyptologist. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. So, like, the cat didn't come from, like, a big cat.
Yeah.
And dogs and cats are kind of funny because they both, like, were domesticated by what...
it was like a mutual, like...
Yeah, anthropologists believe...
we benefited from cats because they would, hunt vermin from our,
food silos, whatever.
Food stores. And dogs would hunt for us. And we would give them shelter and food in return, or affection if I guess they wanted it. I don't know.
The idea that, I think in the 80s people thought that dogs were domesticated from, like, the wolves, and then people just took wolf pups and then they just made them into dogs. But in reality it was more like humans created a lot of trash, and that, like, the more
dogs sort of followed.
The wolves try to follow it, and then the wolves that have a higher tolerance of flight distance. Like, every animal has a certain amount of, like, feet before they kind of, like, say, you're in my bubble, I'm gonna fuck you up. The animals that had a smaller amount of that, like, fight or flight distance were the ones that, like, became domesticated because they liked the human trash to eat. And then so this is kind of where it wasn't like a human taking a pup and then being like, I'm gonna domesticate it.
So my other comment, why don't we have pet trash pandas though?
We do. Some people do. Probably because they're not as cute as cats and they don't have the same usefulness as a cat does. Or a dog.
They have hands.
Yeah, but do they, like, kill rats?
You can teach them.
Hunt?
Break them in half.
Or do anything that's useful? Because if they're not useful to us, we're not going to spend the time with them.
How useful are your cats to you?
They're adorable and I love them and they're warm and cute.
Like,
and they do kill spiders.
They do?
You don't think you could teach Little Rocket to do that?
No.
Probably not. I mean, they would just eat my food.
So there's a Jared Diamond's like what Guns, Germs, and Steel goes into animal husbandry quite a bit, where the people of Europe were just really, really lucky in the game of Settlers of Catan. Like they just happened to have all of the ore and the resources, but they also had the right amount of animals.
The right kind.
The right kind as well. And the things about like why can't you domesticate a zebra versus domesticating a horse? Like they're kind of like shaped similar. And the reason why is that their flight distance of a zebra is too high. And in addition to that, like, they're not the type of hierarchy animal that it's easy to just take out the head of it and then the rest of them would follow. So, and on top of that, like, how useful is it, too? And what's their gestation period? And how quickly can they produce offsprings? And, like, you know, and how hardy are they compared to the winters and summers? And how quickly can you transport them? And are they food? And so, like, wolves turning into dogs fit a lot of these buckets. They're being like, yeah, these are animals that are good because they're useful. And it wasn't until like the later 20th century when it's like, oh, we want companions. Like, you know, we consider these animals to be more like companions and family. Whereas prior to then, it's like the whole Hannibal with his elephants. Like one of the reasons why that's so messed up is because the gestation period of an elephant is just ridiculously long.
Like 2 years or something? Like
I mean, just to get from, it's a small calf into an elephant. That takes way too long compared to sheep. You know, or other animals.
You can't ride a sheep into battle like you can ride an elephant into battle.
No, but sheep have wool.
Yeah.
Sheep are useful.
Elephants are gigantic and inspire fear in your enemies.
That's true. But like the idea that
you're a warring culture and you need them for a war, but otherwise they're a fuck ton to feed.
Yeah.
You need a lot of food.
And when I'm elected to Congress, let me tell you, I will incorporate the first Marine Elephant Corps.
Horses do not require as much food. You could have like 10 horses for every elephant.
And one elephant can take down 10 horses. I don't see what you're going with. This math is equated to me.
Hannibal
10 horses with 10 horses
Let me tell you,
10 riders with
elephant
10 spears could take down one elephant.
Yeah, one elephant killed 10 people with spears.
No, they couldn't.
Hey, long story short,
this is why wolves.
That's why we didn't do it for panda bears. And we didn't do it for trash pandas. They're
just not useful enough.
They're just not useful
Imagine the infiltration techniques of a raccoon. Who looks at a raccoon and thinks, that's not an infiltration animal? Everyone. That's why they'll be the best spies.
I know that Russia tried to do it for foxes because they're so adorable.
They are cute, but they aren't useful.
But they're not useful. And then one of the things that they've done was they did many generations of fox kits, and they took out the ones that were aggressive, and they kept on mating the ones that were docile. And one of the strange things that happened to the fox ears was that they became droopy dog.
Yep.
And it's like, that's fucked up. But then it's like, wait a minute.
You're just making small dogs.
You're just making small weird dogs.
No, they're cat dogs.
You're making small weird cat dogs. And their pee smells atrocious.
Yeah, it's just not... Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
Not that other dogs and cats don't have really smelly pee, but foxes are something else, man.
Well, on the very highly debated scale of smelly fecal matter from various animals.
Fecal's different than urinary, but anyway.
Fine. Uric discharge of various animals.
Just making up words over here.
It sounds proper, though.
Sure.
It is proper. Mike is saying it's proper.
No, he's a fucking liar that lies. Never trust anything he says.
I am a liar that lies unless I tell you I'm lying. Then I'm telling the truth.
It's true.
He's a lion.
That checks out.
But am I lying about lying?
Or is he a lion? We'll never know.
Goddamn.
Something.
And now that we've clearly established through this entire podcast, cats deserve to be outside in their natural habitat.
They should be kept indoors. They do fine indoors, and they should
have your cats spayed and neutered and killing sparrows.
No. But you should definitely get your cat spayed or neutered as needed.
Can you make cats that just come out spayed and neutered? Just save yourself
No, that's
the time?
not how that works.
Yeah, but then there's other birth defects that come along with that.
We should work on it.
All right, well, we'll put that in our little ideas box for
our
entrepreneur for Shark Tank for our entrepreneurial adventures in the future.
Hi, sharks.
God damn it.
We're here with Full Animals United, and let me ask you a question. Have you ever purchased a new animal and been like, gosh, I really wish it was an old animal, but you don't want one of those sad rescue cases? You're in luck, sharks. Because here at whatever company brand name I said, we've developed through our proprietary manufacturing needs, that's right, manufacturing needs, we have made animals that come out
this bullshit?
fully formed. It's amazing. Now, as we see, we will wheel out Andrea here. Yes, Andrea.
She's only 1 year old, but she's only 1 year old, but she's definitely a 30-year-old woman.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is our like, proof of concept. We had to start with humans before we really went to animals, for safety's sake.
Ethical reasons too.
And
what the fuck is this? Get out of here! Stop! Good lord, I need a beer.
Also, bye, Mom.
All right, thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.